Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready in the media? Have you got your cameras rolling, your microphones on? You're all tested? Are we ready to go? Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jim Carr, and I'm the Member of Parliament from Winnipeg South Centre, and it's my pleasure to move things along this morning and act as your MC. And to begin by acknowledging that we are on Treaty 1 territory and the home of the Métis Nation. I always jump at a chance to meet with Manitoba's world-class pork industry, and that includes our world-class pork genetics companies. And I want to thank Cam McGavin and the team at Top Pigs Northven for hosting us today. You are a global leader in swine genetics. Our province is proud to have you here as a valued partner in driving a competitive industry in Manitoba. And do you know that our pork industry here contributes $2 billion to our economy and 14,000 jobs? We're the largest producer and exporter of hogs and pork in the country. And do you know that something I learned as Minister of International Trade Diversification, traveling around the world promoting Canadian interests, is that we grow what the world needs. And this is no exception. The world is becoming increasingly reliant on the capacity of Prairie Canada to give the world the protein, the nutrients that they need for a healthy lifestyle. And there's no better example of that than what we're celebrating here today. And our industry continues to show incredible resilience despite the significant challenges of the pandemic. And it's great to hear about your exciting expansion that you have underway here in the province. It's positive for the future of Manitoba's pork industry, and it's certainly something that our governments applaud and support. And also to note that this is a great example of cooperation between the national government and the provincial government. To tell us more about that, we're honored to have not one, but two ministers with us this morning. the Honorable Ralph Eichler, our Minister of Agriculture and Resource Development here in Manitoba, and the Honorable Marie-Claude Bibeau, Canada's Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food. Minister Bibeau has been Agriculture Minister for nearly 3 years now, and she was reappointed to the position by Prime Minister Trudeau last month. Minister, welcome back to Manitoba. It's always a pleasure to be with you, particularly here in my home province. Welcome. Over the past year and a half, Minister Bibeau has worked hard to help Canadian farmers and food processors weather the pressures from the pandemic, as well as ensuring proper food and nutrition for vulnerable Canadians most impacted by the crisis. Minister Bibeau is passionate about strengthening food security, and she was instrumental in launching Canada's first ever food policy. She also makes a priority of encouraging the active participation of women and youth at the leadership table, along with other unrepresented Canadians. And she is moving forward on key priorities for Canada's pork industry. So, ministers, it's wonderful that you were both able to join us today. And at this time, I invite Minister Bibeau, followed by Minister Eichler, to tell us how our governments are working together to keep Manitoba's pork producers strong and competitive. Marie-Claude, over to you.
Thank you, Jim, and it's always a pleasure for me to be here in Manitoba. Actually, it is my first trip since I've been reappointed, and I would say after COVID as well. So I'm just glad that I'm here to be here to support farmers and the whole industry. So it's also great to be with you, Minister Eichler. We were together last week, but still. And Cam McGavin, thank you for hosting us. First, I want to say that our thoughts are with farmers affected by the heavy flooding in British Columbia and those stranded by the road and rail closures. We are monitoring the situation closely and working with our provincial counterparts to respond. I want to thank Top Pigs Northvin and all the pork industry in Manitoba for your great work in driving jobs and economic growth across our nation. Je tiens à remercier toute l'industrie porcine manitobaine pour leur excellent travail qui contribue à la création d'emplois et la croissance économique à l'échelle du pays. As Jim said, you have made Manitoba a leading producer and exporter of pork in Canada. And you have helped to make Canada a top 3 exporter of pork in the world. Despite a very challenging couple of years, our Canadian pork exports continue to grow. Bravo to you all. As we all know, it takes great genetics to make great pork. Across Canada, companies like TN are helping to grow Canada's pork industry with innovative swine genetics. Today's consumers are turning to Canadian pork because of its safety, quality, and sustainability. Canadian pork has one of the lowest carbon footprints in the world. During a trade mission to Japan, I was pleased to hear some leading chefs talk about the excellence of Canadian pork. We've made some great gains, but now we need to keep up the good work. Our customers are demanding it, and our competitors are not standing still. That's why today, Minister Eichler and I are proud to announce a shared investment of $2.2 million under the Canadian Agricultural Partnership. This shared investment will support 3 research projects to be completed at TN's new research facility here in Manitoba. Aujourd'hui, le ministre Eichler et moi annonçons un investissement partagé de plus de 2,2 millions de dollars dans le cadre du Partenariat canadien pour l'agriculture. Cet investissement permettra de financer 3 projets de recherche dans le secteur porcin qui seront réalisés chez Top Pigs Northvin ici au Manitoba. Using the latest advances in intelligence, artificial intelligence, animal welfare, and precision feeding, these projects will help Manitoba pork industry be more sustainable environmentally and economically. Environmentally, because better feed efficiency and animal welfare will reduce the environmental footprint for Canada's pork industry. And economically, because better performance and lower costs will put more money in the farmer's pocket. I thank TN for investing in the future of Canada's pork industry with this research facility, the first of its kind in Canada. Our government is proud to work with you and the province to help grow Manitoba's pork industry through today's investment. The future is bright for Canadian pork producers, and the world's demand for protein continues to grow. Last week, Minister Eichler and I met with ministers from across Canada to lay the groundwork for the next policy framework for agriculture to begin in 2023. The framework will drive investments over 5 years in key priority areas for Canada's pork industry, including the environment, trade, innovation, resilience, and public trust. Our shared vision is to make Canada a global leader in sustainable agriculture production, and today's investment will help us get there. Ministers also resolved to continue working together to prevent and prepare for African swine fever, open and reopen world markets, strengthen our business risk management programs. So I thank Minister Eichler for partnering with Canada to deliver this important boost to Manitoba's pork industry and economy while protecting our environment and reducing our emissions. It's one more way that the Canadian Agricultural Partnership is going to work for farmers and food processors across this great province. Our investment today will help Manitoba pork industry meet the new markets for an innovative, sustainable product both at home and around the world. L'investissement annoncé aujourd'hui aidera l'industrie porcine du Manitoba à conquérir de nouveaux marchés pour offrir un produit novateur et durable au pays et à l'étranger. I look forward to seeing the new facility up and running. Minister, I invite you to come forward to tell us more about this exciting project.
Thank you, Minister. Jim, good to see you. Thanks for hosting this and being the MC here this afternoon. Certainly, I want to say hello to everyone. Thank you for your introduction, Minister Bibeau, and of course our time together last week talking with our colleagues about the next policy framework, one that will set the tone for the coming years, which will come into effect in 2023. So we have more work to do, and we're prepared to roll our sleeves up and get that done. So it'll be hosted in Saskatoon next year, July 22nd. So stay tuned for more information on that. As we know, the agriculture and agri-food sector plays an essential role in the lives of Manitobans and is vital to our economy. Through the Canadian Agriculture Partnership, otherwise known as CAP, we are creating a modern and prosperous sector focusing on sustainable growth, innovation, and competitiveness. Building a strong research and innovation culture in Manitoba will also attract new investment to our province. We see it happening already with protein processing from plant and livestock sources. I'm very excited for Manitoba to have Topigs Northern Canada establishing a new multi-million sow research development facility in Westlake Gladstone area. The facility will set the stage for long-term research capacity building. It's important towards enhancing environmentally sustainable pork production in Manitoba. I'm also pleased through the CAP program, the federal government and Manitoba government are investing $690,570 in this project with Topigs. The project will generate high quality data that will serve and assessed for further research by students and faculty members with the University of Manitoba. Manitoba is developing an international reputation as a center for pork excellence, for research, for development in swine genetics, and pork production. I want to highlight some additional projects with Topigs, one of which was funded in the amount of $1.4 $993,500. The project aimed to improve the competitiveness and sustainability of pork production. CAP also approved a champion research project for funding in an amount of $53,200. The project will help accelerate agriculture innovation and will also promote and acknowledge transfer to producers. In closing, our government is pleased to support the work of our producers. This has strengthened that sector, no question about it. It is great investment for Manitoba's agriculture future. I'd like to now call on Cam McGavin to deliver the final remarks, then we'll open up for questions.
Thank you, Minister Eichler. We have interacted with your office a lot in the last few years and with great success, and we appreciate you being here today. Also, Minister Bibeau, federal government, and its generosity to our company and our projects. It's much appreciated. It's also very good to see you today, Mr. Carr, and I wish you well. And you told me you're going to Ottawa for the first time, I think this weekend, you said. So good luck, and
Not the first time ever.
no, but since COVID, I'm sorry, yes. Topigs Norsefen Canada is very pleased with the support provided by both levels of government to our projects here in Manitoba. The first phase, called Delta, which is in the picture here, I don't know if anyone can see it, and the second phase, yet to be named and currently under construction out in the Plumas area of Western Manitoba, represented an investment by our company of close to $50 million in the province of Manitoba. These projects will also generate additional employment for 35 people in this province. The grants are very helpful, of course, to fund infrastructure, but also provide ongoing support for applied research utilizing students and staff, as Minister Eichler mentioned, from the University of Manitoba. We have an excellent collaborative arrangement with the University of Manitoba, and it's helped us further some of the research projects that we're working on today. As a company, we take our responsibility very seriously to breed and select pigs that can comply with future housing systems and market demands. These nucleus farms produce state-of-the-art genetics to supply Manitoba, to supply Canada, but also the rest of the world. Canadians and Manitobans are actually quite good at breeding pigs. We have the right mindset, we have the right knowledge, and we have the right skills, and we also have the support that we need to run world-class breeding programs. Also, the International Airport in Winnipeg makes it possible for us to transport pigs and semen to every country in the world. Topigs Norsefen has a commitment to sustainable pork production and the welfare of our pigs. The government support announced here today will help us achieve that goal, so I thank you. That's it.
Okay.